So today, by popular demand, we're going to talk about HIMS stock. We're going to do a little bit of an update on what's going on, if there's any kind of new news and what to look out for coming into earnings season for HIMS and what we should expect for them when they report earnings in around about 4 weeks time. So HIMS is a stock I've not really actually talked about on the YouTube channel that much recently. The reason why is because I've not really been buying it that much. I've not really been buying it so much because it's actually been on a really good run, and I'm actually quite fully allocated on the position now. I've got quite a nice chunky position in it, and now that it's kind of been on a good run, I'm happy to kind of sit back and let it do its thing, and in the next kind of, I would say 3, 4, 5 years, I do have big expectations for this stock. It's, normally when I buy in a stock, I'm expecting that stock to go on to double. Unfortunately for HIMS, I've placed a bit more pressure on it than just a double. I'm actually expecting HIMS to be a stock that brings in potentially 5x return for me. So this is one of the stocks that I would really want to see do well and really lift the returns up in my portfolio. Now, HIMS itself has kind of been different to the stock market, like we've been saying just then. If you actually look at HIMS stock in the last year, this stock actually hit a low of $3. And if you caught that low in that $3, $4 range, this stock for you is up 126%. So it's actually performed really well if you've been buying it in the last kind of 6-12 months time frame. For me personally, I started buying this stock when I posted this video, which is December the 8th. And since December the 8th, 2021, so over a year now, since I started buying that stock, which you can see here was in that kind of $6 range, I've just been buying in these little dips here, and that's why I'm personally up on this position, and I'm happy to kind of hold now. I've had a kind of a year to buy this position. I've got quite a good average, and I'm in a position now where hopefully I sit back and watch HIMS do really fantastic things over the next few years, and that share price starts to get a bit more fairly reflected, which it has been doing, and it has been doing that as well in a bear market. Most of the pain for HIMS really came in 2021. It's already had most of the pain, and in 2022, where a lot of stocks had their pain and the whole market crash, HIMS kind of plodded on and did really well. So we'll see what HIMS does in the next coming few years. But HIMS has actually performed absolutely amazing. I would say that HIMS has been financially in the last year, you could argue even in the year before, but in 2022 with me holding this stock, HIMS was actually, I would say, financially the best performing stock I own. Take the share price out of it. If you actually look at the financials of this stock, they have only got better and better in 2022, and we'll talk about that a little bit today. Now, it's a smaller market cap company. It's a 1.5 billion market cap, and it is led by Andrew Dunham. This company was founded in November 2017, so this is a relatively new company. You're only talking nearly 5 years old, and to be at a 1 billion valuation is obviously fantastic. The company itself is going after a multi-trillion market, which is the healthcare space. The healthcare space is an area that is yet to be disrupted that much, but HIMS is now coming for this space. And if you look at the problems with the healthcare space in America, but also when you look at other countries like the UK at the moment, we know there's a few issues with the UK market, but obviously we have the NHS, but as we know, the NHS is under a lot of pressure, and a few people might be tempted to move more towards a private healthcare. But obviously it's more focused on the American market, where they don't have a public health service like the NHS, for example. So if they're looking to pay for a healthcare service, they might look to go for a telehealth platform like HIMS. HIMS is less expensive than most healthcares. It's also more accessible. Most healthcare in the US, you would have to arrange a visit. That's going to be obviously quite awkward trying to arrange a visit. When you're going to go, you have to travel to that. And also, if it's cheaper to do it online, why are you not going to do it online? You couple that with also that rural areas in the US could be pretty tricky, where you have to travel quite far to get there. And as well as that, millennials, what will millennials prefer? Millennials prefer to have a app where you go on and get healthcare service, where there's the less waiting around, where there's the less in person. So for millennials, most of them are going to be looking for telehealth services rather than the actual traditional going to the doctors and meeting someone in person. So this ticks a lot of boxes. HIMS as well has also been moving into a lot of categories. Originally, they set off with their hair loss and ED. They then expanded into the anxiety and depression area, which is a massive area, dermatology, and obviously primary care as well. And then there's also the other categories that potentially we see HIMS move into going forward. And HIMS is more focused around the B2C platform, that direct to customers. We've seen a lot of healthcare companies pop up in the US in the last few years, but the likes of Telehealth, for example, that's more focused around B2C and working with companies, and them companies working with someone to provide their workers healthcare service. This is more of a direct to customer service, and it's filling in a very nice gap here. And if you look at the history of the company from 2017, the growth has been absolutely insane. You can see here that they originally did 27 million, they now did 83 million, and in 2020, before they came public, they did 138 million. And you see the gross margins improvement as well. They've gone from 29%, 54%, up to 71% gross margins, and these were their financial targets when they came public in 2020. Now, since that time frame, you'll be able to see that they haven't just met these targets, where a lot of companies since when they came public in that time frame have failed to meet them. They have beaten them massively. If we look at HIMS and Hers, recent earnings were absolutely fantastic and actually helped the share price go on the recent run that it's been on. You'll be able to see that EPS was beat by 0.01. Revenue came in at 144 million, and that was 95% year-over-year growth. That now means HIMS and Hers is going to come in the range of 519 million to 522 million. If we look at what they were forecasting previously, they were projecting 233 million. So their growth has been very high, nearly 100% revenue growth, and they're only expected to grow 30% growth, and the revenue is nearly double what they set out 2 years ago. So this has been absolutely fantastic. You're able to see here that the gross profit was 175 million expected, with 75% gross margins. Once again, the gross profit has improved, as gross profit margins are now 77% higher than what was anticipated, and gross profit as well, once again, is very much higher than the guidance. That means so far this year, gross profit has been 276 million, and if we compare it to what they were projecting 175 million. So they're already way ahead of what they were expecting in gross profit, and we still have one more quarter to go yet. So revenue has been massively beaten, gross profit margin has been massively beaten, and gross profit as well is far ahead of what's expected. Now you'll see here, adjusted EBITDA was to be around a 9 million loss, and the adjusted EBITDA guidance is a little bit higher for losses at the moment than what was projected. So the losses are a little bit behind what they were forecasting. However, what has happened in 2022 is the adjusted EBITDA has moved massively positive. So even though they're going to make a bit of a loss this year of 20 to 18 million, you'll be able to see that actually in Q4, they are forecasting adjusted EBITDA to be profitable in the fourth quarter, and they're expecting in 2023 adjusted EBITDA to be positive. So even though this is slightly a bit behind the expectations, by the time they have got to Q4, it is actually positive and will be positive in 2023. And this is the company getting to now reach very good high growth, and also to be more profitable than what is expected going forward, and to be profitable going forward. And this is not a surprise when you are a business that is growing this fast and you are throwing off these gross profit margins. It doesn't take too long for your company to start doing this, and to also make very good profit margins when you are making this much gross profit off your product. So you combine this with a company that's growing a lot faster than what was expected 2 years ago, gross profit a lot higher than what's expected 2 years ago, and to the company to be actually adjusted EBITDA profitable in the fourth quarter and potentially in 2023, and you're picking this company up at total enterprise values to revenue of a 1. It's unbelievable, a 1. So you think about what potentially this company is going to throw off in profit in the next few years. It's quite scary to think about. And this is why, in my opinion, HIMS at $7 is still very much undervalued, and I would argue that HIMS right now should be a $15 stock, and I think it would not be a big surprise to see HIMS pushing over $30 a stock in the next 5 years, and I think that it will be very exciting to see this stock potentially bring a 5x return in the next 5 years. Now that's a little bit of backstory on the company. Let's look at what's coming up ahead for HIMS and Hers. So they are going to announce their fourth quarter results, and we should see some 2023 guidance, and be interesting to see what they do forecast for 2023. If we do look at analyst expectations for 2023, they are expecting an average loss of EPS of 0.2. I think that generally could be beaten as they ramp up profitability in 2023. And also they're expecting revenue growth of 37%. This is a little bit more optimistic than what analysts have been historically on the company. Normally analysts go in at around 30% revenue growth, so they are a little bit at the higher end already. I would expect HIMS to grow somewhere between 40 to 50% in 2023. So I do think they will beat this, and we'll see this increase as the year goes on. And I think that might also be identified already when they do come out in Q4 and they bring their outlook for the year ahead. We should see that happen. But looking at the historic date that HIMS do tend to post their earnings on, you can see here last year they did the fourth quarter earnings on February the 22nd. So judging by that, we should see it somewhere roughly around the same week. So we still do have around a month until we have to see HIMS' Q4 earnings, and then we'll get some forecast into 2023, what they're expecting with the company. So we've still got a little bit to wait before we get that information. But the company has been making two moves recently. One of them was to announce Kristen Bell to be its first mental health ambassador. We've seen a few of these before where they've partnered with the likes of Miley Cyrus and Gronk, but they have partnered with Kristen Bell, who is obviously going to be posting one of the mental health services that HIMS do currently offer. Now, we knew this was going to probably be announced very soon because we saw that in the last earnings report, if you listen to the earnings call, they said that they have announced a new celebrity that's going to partner with them. Now, I'm guessing that this is a celebrity unless there's another one lined up somewhere. But obviously this is another ambassador that they're going to use to promote the HIMS product. And previously they have seemed to have very good success partnering with other celebrities. And the second part of the news that we had recently come out of HIMS is they did announce a new line of volumizing shampoos and conditioners, which you can see here. They're going to start selling these through the HIMS and Hers website, as well as a variety of retailers nationwide, including Walgreens. Now, we've seen them recently partner up with Walgreens. I believe that was in 2022, and they're selling some of the HIMS products through Walgreens. Now, the reason why this is really good is because we know HIMS and Hers have their online service, and that has very good gross margins, but also because of their wholesale service through the likes of Walgreens, this also gives them branding power in here. Now, they don't make as much products when they do sell them through the likes of Walgreens, but the amazing thing now is that HIMS is becoming an online platform and a well-known online platform, and also because they're having actual physical products in locations, people are recognizing this brand more and more, where they see like, oh, I've seen that HIMS and Hers brand before, they sell in Walgreens, they're actually a recognized brand, I trust them. They go onto the HIMS platform online and go, I know you're a very good company because I've seen you selling products through the likes of Walgreens, for example, and that also attracts in more sales online. So they've done a really good job of now having these online products, but also now having the wholesale business, which should be something that is really interesting to watch ramp up in the next few years. And the more they launch some more products like this, for example, that will be sold through the more wholesale partnerships as well, this is really good for HIMS in the long term. So they did add in some HIMS Max Volume Conditioner, Hers Full Volume Shampoo, and Hers Full Volume Conditioner as well. And we should see, hopefully, some news on this in the recent earnings report, and also it'd be very important to check out that wholesale number when we do get the Q4 earnings, which look like they're going to be in another couple of weeks' time, well, probably around about 4 weeks' time. And we'll have some more information on HIMS then, and probably a forecast of what to expect from the company in 2023. But overall, I'm very happy with this business. Obviously, they're smashing expectations on a profit point of view. They're smashing it on a revenue point of view, gross profit, gross margins as well. And they've been financially performing absolutely amazing in 2022. And hopefully that continues in 2023. It's good to see finally some share price recognition happening on that stock throughout the last year, and that share price being a little bit more fairly valued. And like I said, I don't think it'll be too long until we do see this stock at that $15 mark, which I think is a lot more fairly reflecting what this company has done in the last 12 months. And like I said, in the long term, I'm really excited as a shareholder because, like I said, I have identified this as not just a double up in the share price, but I would hope to get at least a 5x return from this one in the next 5 years. So hope you enjoyed a little update for HIMS for you guys that wanted it in the comment section, because I've not talked about it for a while, and hopefully that kind of gives you the confidence that I'm still a shareholder, I'm still holding strong for the next few years, and I'm still very much excited for the future. And let's look forward to Q4 earnings in a couple of weeks time, where I'll probably update you again with what's going on inside the business. Smash the like button if you enjoyed this video. If you're new around here, subscribe. Catch you in a bit.